morning students. Today we are going to learn new unit, that is unit 8, the earth. Chapter number 20, the land around us. So let us learn about the earth. We all live on the earth. It is the home of all living things. The earth is round in shape and it is made up of land and water. Do you know that about 71% of the earth is covered with water and rest 29% is covered with different types of land. The earth has a thick layer all around it. It looks blue from space. The land and water are not the same everywhere. They vary from place to place. Now, let's read the chapter. Unit 8, the earth. Chapter 20, the land around us. The earth is our home. We share the earth with plants and animals. The earth is round in shape. It is covered with land and water. There is more water than land on the earth. We humans, along with plants and animals, live on land. We use water for cooking, drinking and transportation. We breathe the air around the earth. Land is not the same at all places. At some places it is raised while at other places it is flat. Land which is flat is called a plain. We build homes and factories on plains. We also grow crops on plains. The highest land are called mountains. Hills are smaller than mountains. The peaks of some high mountains are covered with snow. The slopes of some mountains are covered with forests. The climate in these highlands is cool in summer and cold in winter. A few crops are also grown on the hillsides. Rivers start in the mountains and flow down to the plains. The land between two mountains or hills is called a valley. Many crops can be grown here, as the valley are fertile lands. Natural and man-made things. All around us we see many things, some of which are natural and some are man-made. The sun, the stars, the moon, rocks, soil, sand, water, plants and animals are natural as they are found in nature. Man has made use of the materials available in nature. We see many things around us which are man-made, such as houses, roads, vehicles, bridges, books, pens and many others. Our surrounding is divided into two groups, that is living thing and non-living thing. Living thing is divided into 5 groups, that is plants, birds, humans, insects, animals. And non-living things is divided into 2 parts, that is natural and man-made. In natural there is the sun, the stars, the moon, rocks, soil, sand, water, etc. In man-made, houses, roads, vehicles, bridges, books, pen, etc. Now let's learn more about the landforms of the earth. There are many types of land on the earth. Now let's see first type of the land. First, plain. A plain is level and a flat land. It is easy to grow crops on plain. The land of a plain is very fertile. Next is hill. A high level land with pointed top is called a hill. Hills are made up of hard rocks. It is difficult to grow crops on hills, and hills are cooler than plain. Next is mountain. Mountain is the raised part of the earth's surface, much larger than the hill. The top of the mountain is called its peak. The peak of some high mountains are covered with snow. The climate in these highlands is cooler in summer and cold in winter. Next is valley. The low land between hills or mountains is called a valley. There are thick forests in the valleys. The shape of valley is like a letter V. Usually rivers flow through a valley, and the land of a valley is very good for growing crops. Students, now let's learn about natural and man-made things. The things that naturally exist in this world are called natural things. The things which are made by man are called man-made things. Looking around us, we find different things. They are either natural or man-made. A great number of things are found in nature. The human beings, animals, birds, insects, trees, grass, sun, moon, stars, clouds, air, rain, sunlight, etc. are all natural things. But many things around us are made by man. They are called man-made things. A carpenter makes furniture like chairs, tables, cupboards, doors, windows, etc. A mason builds buildings. A goldsmith makes ornaments. Chairs, buildings and ornaments are man-made things. Now children, tell me, can you make the sun? Can you make flowers? No, we cannot make sun and flowers. They are called natural things. So students, have you understood different types of landforms and natural and man-made things? Very good. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Bye. Take care. Good morning, my dear students. Do you remember in last lecture what we have learned? Yes, you are right, my dear students. We have learned different types of landforms and natural and man-made things. Today, we are going to learn last chapter of EVS, that is chapter number 21, water and air. First, we will know about water. We need water to live. Animals and plants also need water to live. We need water for various purposes like drinking, bathing, cleaning, washing, cooking, putting out a fire. We get water from rain, sea, river, lake, well, pond, tap and hand pump. Now let's read the chapter. Chapter 21, Water and Air. Water. Water is necessary for us to live. We get water from rain, rivers, lakes, ponds, wells, springs and seas. Rain is the main source of water. Let us understand the water cycle through 4 simple steps. The sun's heat evaporates the water from the seas, rivers, lakes, oceans and plants. The water rises up in the air in the form of water vapor. The water vapor rises high in the air and cools down. It condenses into water droplets, forming clouds in the sky. When too much water gets collected in the clouds, they get heavier and fall back to the earth in the form of rain. Rainwater seeps into the ground and flow back into water bodies like seas, rivers, oceans and lakes. This is called the water cycle. Rainwater flows down the mountains as streams and rivers. Rivers are also formed when the snow on some mountains melts. Smaller rivers join to form a big river. They flow down the mountains. When the water flows down with great speed, waterfalls are formed at some places. On the plains, the rivers flow slowly and finally meet the sea. River water is fresh and not salty. It can be used for drinking after it is filtered and boiled. Sometimes rainwater gets collected at one place. This is called a pond. Big ponds are called lakes. Rivers flow into seas and oceans, which are large water bodies. Oceans and seas have salty water. Rainwater also seeps into the ground and gets collected underground. This is called groundwater. This water can be used by digging wells. We can also draw water from the bore wells by using hand pumps. Some rivers have water throughout the year. Canals are dug out along these rivers. Water flows through these canals into the distant fields. In cities and towns, water from lakes or rivers is supplied to the houses through pipelines. We get this water in our houses through the taps. The water we use for drinking and cooking should be clean and pure. We can clean water by boiling it or by using a filter. We should always keep drinking water covered. We should not pollute water by throwing rubbish and dirty things into wells, tanks and rivers. Water is very useful to us. We should not waste water. Air. The earth is surrounded by air. We cannot see or touch air, but we can feel air when it moves. Moving air is called wind. We need air to live. Plants and animals too need air to live. Plants keep the air pure and clean. We should grow more plants and trees to keep the air clean. Clean air is good for our health. Water cycle. Students, now let us learn about water cycle. Water cycle. The sun heats up the water from oceans, lakes and rivers, and the water changes into water vapor by the process of evaporation. As the water vapor rises up into the air, it starts cooling down and forms tiny water droplets. These water droplets come together to form clouds. This process is called condensation. When the clouds start getting heavy and cannot hold the water droplets anymore, they fall back to the earth in the form of rain, hail, or snow. Some of the water that falls on the earth seeps into the ground. This water is available to us in the form of groundwater. Then the sun starts heating up this water once again. This circulation of water is called water cycle. Children, do you know how do we get water? we get water from rain. Rain is the main source of water. When it rains, rainwater gets collected into ponds, lakes, rivers, and seas. Some water is found on mountains in form of ice and snow. When the snow melts, water flows down to the rivers and streams. Some rainwater also get collected in the ground. This is called groundwater. People dig well to get this water. Hand pump is also used to get this water. Seas and oceans are very big water bodies, but we cannot use this water because it is salty. Water from lakes or rivers is pumped into the use tank by a motor. The water comes to home through pipes. We get water at home by turning on a tap. This is clean water. If the water is clean, we can drink it. If the water is dirty, then we need to boil or filter it. We must only drink clean water. If we drink dirty water, we will get sick. Children, now let's see how does water get dirty. When we throw garbage into rivers, lakes or any other water bodies, washing clothes, utensils and animals in water bodies, some factories allow waste to flow through water bodies. This makes the water dirty. Water is an important part of our life. We cannot live without water. We should not waste water. Now, let us learn about air. You must have seen a kite flying. What makes it fly? Yes, air makes it fly. What do you do when you want to blow up a balloon? You blow air from your mouth into the balloon. Students, air is all around us. We cannot see it, but we can feel it. Air always blows in a certain direction. The movement of different objects along with the air tell us about the direction in which the air is blowing. This moving air is called wind. Air is very important for us. All living beings breathe in air to live. Air helps us to dry wet clothes. Air helps things like kites, birds, and aeroplanes to fly. So students, have you understood? We should always take care of our natural resources. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Bye. Take care.